In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the Loft feature to create a unique part. And as we've been working through all of these 11 shapes, we usually we get to this last one and we realize that this cutout is not like the other ones. This one kind of has, on the front side, if you look at it, is kind of a triangle cutout that goes all the way to the outside. But on the back, it's a smaller triangle. It's a slightly different shape. And we can actually do that and use what's called the Loft feature. And what that does is it takes one shape and then melds it into another shape through two parallel sketches. And so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to draw this rectangular prism and extrude it, and that's something that we've already done. So I create my first sketch, and I'm going to sketch on my front plane. Again, I'm moving and rotating just so that I can make sure to look at this sketch straight on. And I'm always clicking on that origin to start my sketch. Then from there, I'm switching to my dimension tool. It was 2 inches wide, and taking a look, it's 1.25 tall. So now I've got my rectangle. It is fully constrained, not only in size but also location. I can then finish that sketch and extrude. I want to extrude a solid. I'm going to create a new part because this is my first extrusion. The face that I want to extrude is this one. It is going a certain distance and ending, so I'm selecting blind in this option here. The direction doesn't matter in my case. It could go this way or this way. It's going to end up with the same solid either way. And then the depth, according to my drawing, is 1 inch. So I'm going to keep my depth at 1 inch. There we go. We have the overall solid part of this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to sketch what that loft looks like in 2 different places, not only on the front but also the back. So I'm going to create a new sketch, and I'm going to select this front face right here. And again, I'm switching to look at it straight on, and it looked like a triangle. And you'll notice that I'm actually drawing this triangle so that it's not anywhere near correct. And so the drawing, I can see that it goes near the bottom. It's 1 square away, so 0.25 up from the bottom, and it's halfway in from either side. And so the reason I did that is I wanted to make sure that I'm manually putting in the constraints. And so I'm going to put in my dimension here. So from the bottom of this to the bottom of the existing part was 0.25. And then I have a couple different options. I could dimension and put in 1 inch right here, and that would fully dimension it. The other option is I could actually, if I wanted to, make these 2 lines equal. This is something that's symmetrical so that these lines will actually be equal on this triangle. So if I click on both of these, it makes them the same length, and that actually fully constrains this part. Now I have this fully constrained. I've made the rectangle. It is the correct size and shape. I'm going to finish my sketch. And unlike what we've done in the past, where we've then extruded right away, we're actually going to switch, and we're going to draw another sketch. And this time it's going to be on this back face. You can see I'm using the view cube to kind of quickly move things around. You can also right-click and drag to find that back face. But I'm going to select this back face right here for my sketch, and then I'm going to look at it straight on. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw what this looks like from the back. And again, it's a triangle. And so I'm going to actually just draw that triangle right there. And then I'm going to dimension it, and I can see it's a 1/2 inch from this side, a 1/2 inch from this side. It is, if I'm counting over, another 1/2 inch in, and then it's a 1/2 inch down. So the triangle, if I'm looking at this line, it's a 1/2 inch along my left and right axis, but it's also 1/2 inch down from the top. So I can put my dimensions in. I'm going to click on my dimension tool. So this point and this point, that's 1/2 inch or 0.5. I'm going to select these 2 points right here and go 0.5 as well. And then I'm going to select from here to the top and make that 0.5. And you'll notice it's not quite fully constrained. Again, I still have that same option of it is in the center, so I could dimension and measure, or I can use my geometric constraints and have the computer do it. Uh-oh, something happened here. Ooh, okay. So here's something that happened when I was first drawing, and I'm going to show my constraints to show you this. And this happens semi-frequently, but you'll see that there's actually a perpendicular constraint right here. And these lines actually are not perpendicular. For the final part, they should not be perpendicular. So what I can actually do is click on that, make it yellow to highlight it and select it, and then I'm just hitting the delete key on my keyboard. That takes away that constraint right there, which then allows me to add in my equals constraint. Those 2 lines could not be perpendicular and also in equal length, so I had to remove one of those constraints, the one I didn't want, to then add in the correct one. So I'm finishing my sketch. I've got the 2 different sketches on both sides, and what I can do now is actually use this Loft feature, and you can see it kind of looks like a circle on the top and a square on the bottom, and that's what it does. It takes a shape and kind of melds it until it gets to that other shape. I'm going to select my solid, and then I actually want to remove, so I'm going to make sure that I remove. It's asking for profiles, so I can go over here and select this triangle right here. I can also go over here and select this triangle as well. If I wanted to, I could actually select the sketches over here in this toolbar, but I don't need to. Everything else we're not going to worry about right now. We're just going to, this actually is all we need to know for this tool at this moment. So I'm going to hit OK. And now I can see that that shape is looking correct. The biggest mistake I tend to see with this part is people will not choose to remove, and so they end up with adding material where there already is material, which doesn't actually change anything. So there you go. That is the Loft tool, and that is part number 11 for the 11 shapes.